My name is Zizzi. I'm president of the Romanian Diversity Chamber of Commerce and also managing partner of Dentons Law Firm in Romania. The Romanian Diversity Chamber of Commerce was formed as an inspiration from the Diversity Charter, which is a European Union-sponsored initiative to roll out a charter in each country where companies, government authorities, and organizations sign to commit to diversity and inclusion. We thought, great idea, now what's next? There wasn't really anything next because it was never intended to be anything next. It was a piece of paper that you hung on the wall and we're happy you did it and of course lived by those principles. But a number of companies, including Dentons and IKEA, ING Bank, Raiffeisen, Visa, Fokker Engineering, Dow, Google, many others decided that we wanted to action these principles. And the idea really behind it is to promote the principles of diversity and inclusion, but also make sure companies that are owned or controlled by persons with disabilities, LGBT, persons of ethnicity, different ethnicities, and women actually get a chance to sell goods and services to large multinationals like ours, to make sure they get a seat at the table, which has not always been the case for economically marginalized populations. We also want to promote ED&I, you can say equality or equity, depending on who you're talking to, but we throw in the E these days as well, it's the latest term, to businesses as a way to increase their business. It's not just a cost center, it is in fact a way to make more money. And as a Chamber of Commerce, we sit somewhere between the traditional chambers of commerce that focus solely on pure economics and the NGOs that focus on goals that may relate to orphans or helping people who don't have money, to make it through the winter. We're somewhere in the middle. And we have taken upon ourselves the initiative to help promote the principles of ED&I, because at least in this region, I think we're still many, many years, if not decades behind in the understanding that this is not just something you say you're doing and move on, but you have to believe it, you have to action it, and in the end, it will actually improve the profitability of a business. We are not environmental per se, so sustainability is often thought of in an environmental sense. In fact, what we see in Romania and many countries is an unsustainable use of the labor force. There are large sectors of the population that are not able to participate, and that may be many women who don't have proper daycare facilities for children. That may be persons of Roma ethnicity who are simply shut out because of discrimination. That may be persons with disabilities who are not able to physically access educational institutions or places of work or places to do business. So for us, this is a huge resource that's not properly used and not well used, which can benefit the economy. And I mean, there is an environmental effect, I suppose, in some ways, because you're not flying people over from Sri Lanka or the Philippines or elsewhere to do work and spending money and burning fossil fuels to get them here. You've got people already on the ground here. Our resources, well, we wanted to participate in TRANSFORMATOR for several reasons. Firstly, we wanted to make sure that we're able to more efficiently use our resources, our own resources, in a sustainable way when we're planning our activities and business activities. We wanted to make sure that we're able to more effectively reach out through the stakeholders that we work with, through our own members and partners. We wanted to be able to attract new members and partners to what we do. And we wanted to make sure that we, in the future, can help prepare others in our organization and our stakeholders to learn how to be more sustainable in their own business models. So it makes it pass on the learning that we've had. Well, I think there needs to be kind of a better awareness, firstly, of the labor resources that are out there. It's too easy to pick up the phone, call a recruiter, and the recruiter simply calls a company in the Philippines or Sri Lanka to bring someone over, without looking at the kind of medium and long-term needs to help increase participation in labor force and generally in business of all the many people we have here who are presently not fully integrated or not integrated at all. And that's an important aspect. So education and making sure people are aware. Hopefully, with that awareness, there'll be pressure on the political leaders and educators to make sure that we actually do have a positive change here. It will help society. I think it will help society become less fragmented and more cohesive if we have people participating in business. It's a first step to participating in social life and in politics and in many other areas. Well, short term, we actually have particular activities that we're working on. We're working on trainings for some municipalities and companies. We are also putting together a certification program which would basically be used for small and medium enterprises in Romania to demonstrate to large multinationals that they are certified by the Diversity Chamber of Commerce as diverse and inclusive businesses. They would be evaluated on certain criteria and issue the certificate. So that companies like mine and others I'd mentioned know that when we're procuring for services or goods, we're dealing with a company that actually meets these qualifications. Now, many people will say, who cares? Why do we need to do that? Well, we actually are asked increasingly by our stakeholders and by our clients to prove that we actually are living the principles of diversity and inclusion and implementing them in our business, that it's not just a line on a sheet. And we're getting asked very, very, very detailed questions, including supply chain. So this is an important element, and it's something that can benefit both the multinationals that are doing business here, but also the many local businesses that have not traditionally been able to access these markets.